So if you clicked on this video, you're probably curious about how to record music. Maybe you want to start a career. Maybe you just want to do song covers for YouTube. Whatever the case may be, we got you today. What's going on YouTube? My name is Tyler Rhodes. I am a self-taught recording artist. I've been doing this for around 10 years and I've been able to do a lot in my career without ever having to visit a studio. And along the way, I've picked up a lot of knowledge on how to get the most professional sound you can out of a home studio. Although today's video is not really a technical video, we're just gonna talk about how to get set up, recording, get your software set up, and getting your first song out there. While we're on the subject, while we're making noise, both of my daughters are in the room with me. I have a 2-year-old and a 2-week-old sitting over here. So if you hear that, just ignore it. That's just my daughter. My wife is gone out to eat. This is the only time I can record, so we gotta do what we gotta do. But anyway, we're gonna talk about the main things that you need to get started recording music. If you need more specific instructions, you can always hit me up on here or on my socials. They'll be in the description. But let's get right into it. The first thing that you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to choose your recording software. You may have seen the word DAW being thrown around. That stands for Digital Audio Workstation, and that's basically just a software that you make your songs from, whether you're choosing to make your own beats and all that type of stuff and do your vocals, or you just need to record vocals. The amount of work that you are going to put into the process of making music a lot of times will determine the software that you use. For example, if you're only doing vocals and maybe song covers or voiceovers or something like that, Adobe Audition may be one of those things that's better for you because it's centered around vocals. But if you're wanting to get deeper into the music and you're wanting to learn how to edit beats and stuff like that, then something like Logic Pro or FL Studio will be better for you. A lot of them do the same thing. Some just have more functionality than others depending on what you need. For example, I started my music career as a producer before I ever actually made any songs, did any vocals and stuff like that. So my first ever DAW back in 2012 was FL Studio. Back then it was still called Fruity Loops, I believe. But FL Studio is where I started. I bounced around to a couple different DAWs. I played with Audition for a while. My first couple mixtapes were on Audition. I landed on Logic Pro for a couple years. Logic Pro is one of the best out there. I love Logic Pro. I love how simple it is. It's user friendly. If you have a MacBook, Logic Pro would be my #1 suggestion. But as for me, I'm back on Windows, and I have gone back to my first love, which is FL Studio, and that's where I've been since. That's where I'm going to remain. And for the purpose of today's video, that is the DAW I will be showing you, but we'll get to that in a second. Once you decide what DAW you want to use, you will need to get some recording equipment. Your webcam mic or the mic that comes bundled with your keyboard is not going to cut it. You need to get a good mic. That is first and foremost, because audio is everything. Now, I do say that to say you do not have to go out and spend $600–700 on a mic. You can get a good condenser USB mic anywhere starting from $80 to around $150. I know one of the most popular ones right now, I believe, is the Blue Yeti. Blue Yeti is decent, but of course, if you're wanting to get deeper into your music career, you may want to upgrade down the line. But to just get started, just to even see if you like making music, you do not want to go out and buy a Shure or buy an expensive Rode mic. Get something cheap, get something that'll work. I've been doing this for 10 years, and guys, I've never used a mic that costs more than $200. Every mic that I've used has been a condenser mic or a USB mic. The mic that I'm using now is actually a gaming mic, the Elgato Wave 3. It is an expensive mic as far as gaming goes, but it's actually still way cheaper compared to other mics. The good thing about it, especially in this industry, a decent mic can be all you need, because if you learn how to mix, you can make a decent mic sound professional. Like I said, I've only used the condenser mics. I'm using a $140 mic right now, and I have radio quality songs. I have songs that are spinning in release radar as we speak. Like, I've been able to do that without having to shell out a whole bunch of money. The other thing that is important is a good set of headphones. I know everybody wants to go straight to Beats by Dre. Beats by Dre are serviceable, but if you want to actually get a good quality of sound, you need to invest in some actual studio monitors, or at the very least, some high-end desktop headphones. You do not want to use cheap headphones. You do not want to use earbuds. And I'm saying that, and I know some people in the comments are saying that they use that and it works. If it works, it works, but it is also dependent on how serious you want to take this. If you're just making song covers and stuff like that, yeah, just plug your iPhone headphones in. It's no big deal. But if you're trying to learn to make high quality music, you need to have some high-end headphones. Now, I'm still not saying go out and get a $500–600 pair of headphones, but I am saying do not cheap out when it comes to headphones, because that can make all the difference when you're mixing a song in your house and then you play it in the car. Now, there are other things that you want to look into when it comes to studio equipment, but some of the stuff you do not need to worry about unless you plan on taking this seriously. If you get a USB mic and like you get a good pair of headphones, don't go spending $500-600 on the interface that everybody tells you need to get. Interfaces are very, very important if you're serious about your audio quality and, like I said, you're trying to make this a career. If you get you a good condenser mic, like $100-200 USB mic, I would be focused on using that and learning, the process of recording music and learning how to mix before going to get the expensive interface and the expensive mic. Because the good thing is, if you learn how to mix on an average mic, it's just gonna make your quality so much better once you get that high-end one. And now the next thing I want to do is jump into a DAW and show you some of the settings and stuff that you kind of need to know. Most of these settings will apply to every DAW. It's just gonna be a matter of finding where those settings are. I'm gonna jump into FL Studio and show you some of the things that you need to know before you hit record. All right, so we're in the FL Studio, and I actually have a project that I'm going to show you, but I just kind of wanted to show you what a blank FL Studio template looks like when you first open it. But no matter what DAW you use, the two things you need to find first. The first thing you need to find is your actual tracks, which that'll be where your actual songs are. If you've looked at a picture of a studio session, you know what this is. But this is where your vocals, your beats, and all this other type of stuff is going to be. Now, by default, this is going to be open on most DAWs as soon as you open it. But in some DAWs like FL Studio, you can close it out. So sometimes you'll open it and it looks like this. Just don't panic, but just find where your playlist, button is, and that should bring it back up. So that's the first thing you need to always be able to find. The other thing you always need to be able to find is your mixer. So that's going to be this right here. Certain DAWs actually have a hotkey for it. I believe Logic Pro, if you hit X, it'll always pop up the mixer. FL Studio has a mixer button here, and it's F9 for the hotkey for this. But this is where these tracks on the playlist will correspond to these mixer panels, and you can actually change them if you need them to correspond to something different. But this is where your levels are going to be. This is how you pan. This is how you do your volume. Once you record your vocals, this is how you're going to do your effects and all that type of stuff. So now I'm going to open up a song. I'm going to open up a cover that I just recorded last night. And I'm going to kind of show you all the basics of how to get started recording. So I'm going to hide my mixer. So you see, so this is what it looks like once you start recording. So what most people do is they're going to have the first track on the playlist. And pretty much any DAW is going to have your beat. So all this is right here is the beat. I'm going to see if it'll let it play. Let me mute my mic on here. So this is just going to be your beat. It's pretty much always going to be a pop. Now, these right here are my actual recordings, right? So these are my vocals. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So to record a vocal, at least in FL Studio, you just need to click on the track, click on whatever track you want to record on. I always record on track 2. That's just my habit. And then I have my track 2 is connected to my list here. So if my mic is on, you're able to hear my mic, which I have my mic off right now, so you can't hear it. But this is where you'll be able to hear yourself if you need to turn yourself up and down. It'll be on the same track that you choose to record on. So on pretty much every DAW, you're going to have this big red button right here. You just hit that button. FL Studio pops up this, but most DAWs don't. It'll count you down. And you just say whatever you got to say. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why it's still picking me up even though I have it muted, but you just say whatever you got to say. And that's how you get your raw vocal in. So once you get the vocal in, you can move it, click it, and drag it wherever you need to do. So let's listen to the vocal that I recorded. Let's listen to the vocal that I recorded last night, right? So this has no effects or nothing on it, right? So this is literally as it is as I recorded it. This is as it is as I recorded it, no effects, no nothing. Love to see you shine in the night like the diamond you are. Probably a good time to mention, I can't sing. I don't know how I have a music career. I'm good on this side, it's alright. Just hold me in the dark. If that sounds familiar, it's because it's Khaled's song Better. I just did a cover to the first verse of it. And so if you're just doing like a song cover or something like that, you usually really only need the one track, right? But if you need to do ad libs or harmonies and stuff like that, then you just repeat the process, click on a different track, Oops. Click on a different track, do the same thing. So the last thing I want to talk about before exporting is effects. Now, if you're just doing song covers, things like that, you may not need to mess with these too much. That's kind of dependent on you. But if you're trying to have a career in this business, then this is going to be where you're going to spend your most time. You can record a song in 30 seconds, but it may take 2 days to mix that joker. You know what I'm saying? So pulling up our mixer that we were talking about, you can see the tracks that I have vocals on. So this is the main track that has this vocal on it right here that we were just listening to. See you shine in the night like the diamond you are. And so that's what it sounds like before the effects. Now, I'm going to re-enable all the effects. And this is what it sounds like now. Love to see you shine in the night like the diamond you are. The good thing about effects is you can use as little or as many as you want to. I keep my effects very minimal. I get it equalized, I get it compressed, get everything sounding good. But I don't do a whole bunch of special effects, crazy stuff like that. Now, on this specific song, I did have to because of Khaled. On Khaled's song, he has this right here, where it just kind of repeats what he said, but with a flanger on it. So this one has effects on it. Love to see you shine in the night like the diamond you are. But depending on the song you're covering, you may not need to do that, right? So again, we're not gonna get too technical in this video. I'm just kind of showing y'all the basics of how this all works. I'm gonna kind of show y'all how it sounds when you put everything together, right? So. Love to see you shine in the night like the diamond you are. Love to see you shine in the night like the diamond you are. I'm good on this side, it's alright. Just hold me in the dark. No one's gotta know what we do. Hit me up when you're bored. I ain't gonna let the whole thing play. Most of what you just heard was done in about an hour. And like I said, there is other stuff that I can do to make it sound more professional. But again, for the purpose of this video, I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. Once your song is done, once you get everything the way you want it to be set up, depending on DAW you use, I'm going to show you how to do it in FL Studio. In FL Studio, you have an option to export. I know for sure that Audition has it, Audacity has the option. Logic Pro has an option to bounce instead of export. They do have an export option, but it has different than your normal MP3. But what you would do is you just export. If this is just something you're doing for YouTube, something, just doing anything audio related that's basic, you can just export it as an MP3, name it, and you're done. You do have these other options. These options are just for, more extensive use. Say for instance you're collaborating with another person, or you may be working with a producer and you need a higher quality format for your audio, then you would export it as a WAV. If you need like a short sound bite for something, say for instance Twitch alerts or something like that, because I made my own Twitch alerts using this, then you export as an OGG. So once you click export, you are done. Your first song is done. You are welcome to put it where you please, but just be advised about what type of content you're doing. What I just did, you took an instrumental. Hey. If you're doing what I just did and you're taking an instrumental and you're just recording a cover to it, you cannot post that to Spotify, Apple Music, and stuff like that for copyright reasons. Now, if you're doing something original, you're doing your own music, stuff like that, or you're doing a cover but you recreated the instrumental yourself, then yeah, you can post that to Spotify and everything. But that's pretty much the basis on how the DAWs work. I know I'm kind of all over the place. I'm trying to cover a lot of stuff in a little bit of time, but I will be doing a series on recording and producing and doing things like that on this channel. So I'm gonna get more in depth on some of the stuff that I skipped over. So let me know what you want to hear more of. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys checking out this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you did enjoy it, if you think somebody else could use it, make sure to let them know, give them the link, all that good stuff. Go stream with you. Link will be in the bio. I will be working on an album this year, and I'm going to be trying to document the process here on YouTube as well. So if you're interested in seeing an album being made from scratch and documenting every step of the process, another reason to sub. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you guys on the next video.